Hello and welcome back to our series on what is the market. We've made it to the wheres of the market. Specifically, the physical location is what we're going to talk about in this slide. Now, if you are newer to trading, you might think, wait, there's a physical location? You mean my desk, my chair? No, the physical location is actually something called a trading floor. We actually have trading floors. So sometimes people think about going to New York, going up to Wall Street and sort of looking at all those Wall Street like things, the bull and the bear and all that. There is actually a trading floor in Wall Street. So some exchanges still have actual trading floors. And of course, what is the response from everyone? So a couple notes on the largest trading floors in the world. We don't just have them in New York, you actually have them all around. There's the New York Stock Exchange, that's the NYSE, if you're in the know, which is located on Wall Street in New York City. And it is the largest trading floor by market capitalization, which means the companies trading on the NYSE collectively are worth more on the other exchanges. And it's also one of the most iconic financial hubs globally, right? Talk about stock floors, trading floors. Typically people are going to talk about the NYSE. Okay, the other one we have here in the US is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, known as the CME. And that is, if you hadn't guessed it, it's in Chicago. They put it in Chicago because the weather was just so great there. You just get snowed in all winter. For 3 months, you're just on the trading floor in a sleeping bag, freezing your tail off. So they put it in Chicago, and Chicago is the city for derivatives trading. Haven't really talked about derivatives at all. It's kind of a scary word, but it really just means something derived from something else. So options and futures and currency swaps and all those kind of fun things, those are all derivatives. And Chicago is the derivatives hub. Okay, and again, futures and options, commodities, currencies, interest rates, all those things uh, have a home there on the CME, which again is short for the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. A few other big ones. You have the London Stock Exchange, which is one of the oldest and largest trading floors in Europe with significant global influence. You also have your Hong Kong Stock Exchange, which is located in, you guessed it, Hong Kong, and is the largest trading floor in Asia by market cap. And you have the Tokyo Stock Exchange, which is primarily known for electronic trading, but still has a pretty decent size physical trading floor. And there's certainly a difference in vibes. If you go to the NYSE, there's a very different vibe than if you go to the Tokyo Stock Exchange. The NYSE, I mean, it was basically just a big frat party, for a long period of time. And it's still very energetic, still very loud. A lot of just animals and monkeys yelling at the top of their lungs using hand signals and such. So, I mean, it's an interesting place for sure. Very competitive, fast paced. Then you have something like the London Stock Exchange, which is it's similar but much more reserved and formal. So if you look, you're talking to British traders, they're going to be calm, they're going to be nice, they're going to conduct business with etiquette and professionalism, sort of the way you might expect the Brits to behave. Then you have some of the Asian markets. You've got Tokyo, for example, which is very, very orderly, it's very disciplined, and it's a direct reflection of the business culture in Japan. So communication is quieter, respect, um, emphasize a lot of hierarchy, respect. Also, again, very very different from the NYSE. You've got Hong Kong, which is almost kind of a blend of Western Eastern. It's still vibrant, pretty loud, pretty competitive, but there's a much more focus on traditional Chinese customs in this case. And then you have in Brazil, there's the stock exchange, which is a little more relaxed, informal, personal relationships, networking, that sort of thing. But the NYSE, definitely the loudest, most boisterous of the bunch. And then as you head over into Asia, you have a much more respectful, quiet kind of environment for your trading. And then the sort of the final question everyone asks here is, why do we still have physical trading? Why do we need these things? Like, clearly we're all just on our phones, sitting on the toilet, slinging, gazillions of dollars of stock around. Like, why do we need to have a physical trading floor? And there's a couple of decent reasons actually. One big one is redundancy and security. Okay, if the whole market fails, you actually do have a physical trading floor where you can go and do your trading if you need. I mean, this is not if you're, you know, trading penny stocks on Robinhood. Like you're not, if your phone goes down, you're not driving to New York to complete your trades. But if you need to do, say, a $5 billion position in Microsoft or something, and your tech goes down, it's nice to be able to drive over to the stock exchange and actually still put that order through. Which is point number two. We have humans in the pit, right? If you need to actually negotiate a large trade, then you might want to run it by a human. You can negotiate with the computer all you want, but a human being, you can look them in the eye, you can ask them questions, so there might be some actual negotiation that has to happen on these huger orders. Okay, and those are kind of the big ones. You've got some symbolic type stuff, so you might have a VIP or a politician or an executive on an IPO actually come to the NYSE trading floor to like ring the opening bell and that kind of thing. There's still a lot of symbolism with media, but most of those are kind of just surface level stuff. It is nice to have some redundancy and the human interaction if you actually do need to put a trade together and do some negotiating. So we do still have those physical trading floors around. Again, they're not as not as active and prevalent as they once were, but they are still there, and there are some decent reasons that they are still there. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this video. In our next video, we're going to go through just a little bit of history of the virtual markets. So hope we will see you there, as always, and take care.